Hi legends, today I'm gonna show you the updated version of the final form of the Pikachu build. This build, it is absolutely a banger to play because you're actually gonna be able to do not only a lot of damage, but also you're gonna be able to stun, have a lot of mobility, and overall stay safe while just one-shotting all these people. It's actually the best build that I ever played in Crusader. By the way, even out of the stream, on stream, I just cannot stop playing this build because it's just like you can never get too old from actually just keep one-shotting people. Like, you're gonna actually always be able to do like a tremendous amount of damage, and if you're not gonna one-shot them, most likely you're gonna be able to one and two-shot a lot of times, as you guys saw here on the screen. They just do not die because of the savior or the gladiator, and it is a bit annoying, but the fact that you can actually, like, not only you stun them, but also at the same time you are actually just, you know, going and doing a tremendous amount of damage to all of them, because like this can be all the lightings in just one person, or it can be all these lightings in like 2 or 3 people. And sometimes what happens, like if you have like 2 people in the same spot or 3 people in the same spot, you can actually just like pretty much one-shot all of them, which is absolutely insane. And one of the things that the new change that I'm making here, it is that even though I tried like a bit more aggressive builds than in the past, I realized to myself that, you know, it is really hard to actually skip the stun on the pants, but other things that I made was actually very good changes. So pretty much I'm going to show you everything that you want to know about this build. It is actually absolutely godly, man. So without further ado, let's go here into the skills. You guys, if you guys saw the first video, it is the Condemned, Falling Sword, Feast of Heavens, and the Conjuration of Light. For the ances, here's the thing that we kind of changed a bit. So keep the same head, Defined Misfortune, which pretty much is gonna trigger your Fist of Thunder. Whenever you're gonna attack the target, there's gonna be these huge lightnings that's gonna drop, like this. Well, what it does. Then you have the other one, which is the Harmonic Collide. When the target's gonna receive some extra damage, extra lightnings are actually gonna drop on an enemy. So if I have the Condemned triggered on me, and if I attack the target, you guys gonna see these. But if I keep attacking the target and the target has burning effects, look at these, look at all these crazy damage that keeps doing and keeps doing and keeps doing. So the Condemned Inferno 8, it is actually super good in this build. Then we made here a change on the shoulders. I feel like these shoulders are actually way better than the previous ones that I had, which was like gives you a shield. But the reality is this: after playing so long with this build, most of the times you don't want to actually deep dive on them. You want to stay like kind of kiting them around and just applying, well, all your Falling Thunder. And in this sense, the more Falling Thunder cooldown reduction you have, the best. So the major reason why we're using these ances is because the Feast of Heavens cooldown, it is reduced by 10%. That is the main reason. Then obviously he also increased the critical hit damage on the targets up to 45%, which is kind of nuts, and you know, implies more like the one-shot mechanic that this build has. Then here, the Scorned Upon, this one, it is the Feast of Heavens, also stuns shocked enemies for 3.2 seconds. So I tested it out and I saw other Crusaders trying to use these with the Shock Trooper. What I can tell you guys is that honestly, you know, the stun, it is so much better. It is just like, it is 10 times better. And this extra damage, it is actually not, you know, it makes a difference, but it doesn't make as big of a difference as just a stun. So for example, sometimes you have a wizard that just teleports into you, and you are willing to just go and you drop the lightnings. They are stunned, your enemies also go and bang on them, so they just die. So it is actually awesome, and it allows you to pretty much counter the meta whenever you are using the Scorn. Okay, so 100% after testing it, I will absolutely go with this. But if you're gonna go with these pants, you actually need to go and have always, all the time, the 2-piece Skybreakers. So the 2-piece Skybreakers, it's actually gonna shock the enemies, all nearby enemies, every 6 seconds, and apply the shocked. So whenever you're gonna use the Fist of Thunders, you're actually gonna shock the enemies at the same time you are stunning them, okay? So you need to use these because they are gonna cycle very well, because the cooldown inside the battlegrounds of your Fist of Thunder should be around 5 seconds, and because of the Skybreaker here has 6 seconds, so they are always gonna be more or less in the same cycle, which is pretty great. Every time that you're gonna use your Fist of Heavens, you're actually gonna be able to apply a stun. Very broken. Then you have here the Luminous Rains. I tried other variants that people recommend to me. I still think the Luminous Rain, it is the absolutely best. I also tried a different version that I was using the Yawning Rose instead of using the Falling Sword. And what I can tell you is that the Yawning Rose, unfortunately, it has a big problem. The problem is, even though it has a lot of damage, what I can tell you is just like it is too slow, okay? These meteors, it is too slow to actually do damage, and a lot of times they just run through your judgment and you actually cannot do damage to them. So the Falling Sword, it is that whenever you trigger, it's like instantly it does the damage on the target, and it's very noticeable whenever you are trying to play with the build, okay? You're gonna understand like what I'm saying. If you try the Yawning Rose or this, you're gonna understand like exactly what I'm saying. The other offense that you can go, and this also I changed it. So before I was using, and you can actually use like both of them, they are like pretty good. They are just like different. One can be the Wretch Splinter. When we're actually gonna attack the target, you're gonna increase your movement speed. This is nice for you to actually just move around. I'm not gonna say like this is worse or better, it's just a different playstyle. I tried both of them, they both work. One gives you movement speed to you and your enemies, and this other one is actually gonna increase the damage that the target is gonna take. So honestly, the times that I'm just gonna go and use my primary attacks, most of the times is like whenever they are in stun, or whenever they are actually, you know, trying to revive from the gladiator, and you can go there, you do a few punishments, and then like that you can actually have some increased damage for the next time that you're gonna use the Fist of Heavens. Here on the offense, we are still using the Doom Parade, which the critical hit chance, it is increased by 90%, and also decreases the cooldown of your Condemned by 10%, but the big change is here on the battle rhythm, where the Condemned is actually increasing the damage up to 24% on this other offense. The other one that I was using was just as a test, which the Condemned was applying a slow, the Vilicious protocol, but the reality is, after testing, like this movement speed, it is nice, that's gonna decrease, but it was not like a game changer. So some extra damage definitely was actually more useful, so you can have this one-shot potential. So this is pretty much like the whole build, the changes that I made. Also, like I keep using the Brawler because it's just like way easier to kite. If I'm playing versus a whale matchup in battlegrounds, most likely I usually go with the gladiators, just because, you know, you're a bit more tanky, and if they come and they drop a damage over time, sometimes the first aid comes clutch, and the shit death can actually, you can just suicide and go to the idol and do like these crazy plays. Then I just felt like the Soul Harvest, it is 100% the best one, because you're gonna still keep killing a lot of these players. So because of that, you're gonna have this shield multiple times with you. Then we are using still here the you already know, the Savior Pet. We are, of course, like we're using also here on the Warband, the Protector, so you can have the Shepherd's Burden. And I'm gonna show you something that, you know, some people were asking me what are my Reforges, and I use like some very generic Reforges that works for every class that I play with. So I go with the damage to loss of control, I go with the damage to players, I go with the beneficial effect durations increase, I go with the damage taken while you're suffering loss of control, and I go with the damage taken from players. So pretty much beneficial effect duration, damage to players, and damage taken from players, those are fixed slots. It is all about, do you want to go Vengeance, do you want to go Jolt, do you want to, like, what do you want to actually change, right? So that's what I usually go with, and it works pretty well. So this is the updated version of the Pikachu build. I hope that you guys keep having a blast. Come by the live stream, tell me what you feel, and I'm just glad that I came into the Crusader, and I was pretty upset and pretty bored of like the Shield Glare meta, and I was able, together with the Crusader community, to find something new for you guys to have fun, because at the end of the day, it is a video game, and video games are supposed to be fun. So guys, if you guys enjoyed this updated version of the Pikachu build, type it down below, Pikachu, so I know that you guys are the legends, keep carrying the channel, and you reach until now to the video. And with this, thank you for watching. Catch you guys next one. Peace.